All right, good morning, guys. Today we're looking at we have RVSN here, probably the only good stock today so far. We had a pretty good run up on this. Actually didn't have any news for it though, which is the major issue here. Let me just start screen sharing. Okay. So yeah, the major issue is just no news with this. The second one is it's already ran up pretty high, so we will probably see some sort of pullback in the beginning. So we're gonna be a little hesitant to take a play off this right in the beginning. We have SATL with a nice run up in the pre-market early on here. We went from about $9 all the way up to $17, back down to about $10. They had a good some good news, multiple launch agreements with SpaceX. Everybody likes SpaceX, so I'm assuming this might do something, although to be honest, I was expecting a little more price diversification during the pre-market, and we've basically consolidated around that 1050 mark. So I'm not really sure what this is going to do on open. We do see a large increase in volume, so we'll have to wait and see if this has some actual volume behind it. We are seeing RVSN start to take off. The rest of these aren't very interesting, so I'm not going to really go through them, but there's really no news associated with them, and they're kind of meh. So we're not really going to be too focused on that. We do have SATL starting to move. We are seeing a lot of volatility in RVSN. So I think we want to take a trade on this SATL as soon as possible. So we're going to be looking to get an SATL. I don't really want to get in this high. I'm thinking probably the 90 EMA, so 1060. We're going to go for about $12 on it. And then we're going to go for a $10 stop loss. Yeah, we'll go for a $10 stop loss. Maybe a little higher, maybe like 1010. We'll see how that works out for us. That is pretty close to that 200 EMA, but we don't want to give it too much room. So there's plenty of room to get in on this stock. Lots of volume, volatility, all that good stuff. So we'll see some movement out of this, I think. Okay. Back to RVSN. It does look like it's heading down a little bit. We do have a support line here, so it may bounce. I'll be watching closely. Nope. Then we'll try for the VWAP line here. If it looks like it's going to hold to that VWAP line, we may jump in for a trade. So going to get that ready. RVSN at 208. We're going to aim for 230 on it, and then I don't know, just a $2 stop. Give it a $2 stop. So if you can't get it quite at 208, jump in a little higher if you have to, but you basically want to make sure that your stop loss is below that VWAP line. Okay, and that's RVSN. And you definitely don't want to give it more than an 8-cent stop. SATL all the way down, but we did see it almost hit $11 there, which is pretty cool. We have RVSN slowly reaching that entry point. We might not quite get 208. We might get 209, which is fine. That's not a huge deal. That's 210, another half decent entry point. 208, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to jump in here at 208. And we're going to hope it holds. SATL really struggling here on this last support line. So we're going to see if this holds or if it stops us out. We are seeing some volatility pick up. This is really nice to see. We are seeing a very large increase in volume from the pre-market. That's got to do with the SpaceX launch. Everybody likes to hear about SpaceX, especially retail traders. So hopefully that's enough to keep this moving. We've got Acon here. Not really something I was looking at playing, but we did break through that VWAP. We are seeing a little bit of bullishness there, so that might be playable. Husa also might be playable. I'm not really convinced. It's pretty far away from that 200 EMA so far, so I just kind of want to leave it be. We are still seeing around that 208 level. I would say if we start dropping further, maybe even 205, I'll just cut position, but it looks like it should turn around here. We're bearish on that MACD right now, which is not necessarily the best sign, but we're starting to curl up with price action here. So 217, not bad from a 208 entry. We could start to scale out on profits if we really wanted to. We do have resistance at 220, so that's something to keep in mind. SATL still, not a lot of conviction in this price action, starting to worry me. Husa heading down, Acon all the way up to 220. We are staying above that VWAP right now, so that's something to keep an eye on. We may start to see this run further. Looking at other things, we got PRTS, so we're going to go ahead and open up a chart for PRTS. We are at 218, 219. We did hit past 220, so we hit 222 on RVSN. So we're going to be cutting some of RVSN and taking profits, leaving a 30% runner. Because we want to secure some of those profits, especially when we hit as high as that. And you know what? It wasn't looking good at the start, so I'm happy to take some profits. We are stopping out on saddle here. That just didn't work out for us. Saddle stop. I thought. Yeah, I thought SpaceX would have a little more hype there, but it didn't, and that's okay. I still love Elon Musk, so it is what it is. We'll recoup that money somewhere else. It was a pretty tight stop. It honestly wasn't that bad. Let's see here. PRTS, nice candles. We opened up. We went from about $7 all the way to almost $8 actually. The price range isn't too bad. The conviction behind the candles looks pretty good so far. Volume is okay. It's good enough for us right now. Acon's down a little bit here. I'd like to see it drop back down to that 200 EMA, especially seeing where that is in relation to the bands. But I think we might actually need to jump in a little bit higher here if we want something out of it. But there's just so many signs saying stay out of it right now, and I think I'm going to listen. Did see rejection off of that resistance line there twice, so we may be in trouble here if it can't break through and hold. Alternatively, we could take another position at 208 again if we get that opportunity, and if we do, we could end up making more money again. So far, we don't have a lot of stuff popping up on the scanner, so we really don't have a lot of options on things to play. HCDI and RDBX. RDBX is one of my favorite stocks the past couple of weeks with that short squeeze potential. So let's take a look at that. Okay. As soon as this chart finishes loading. There it is. Yeah, RDBX is looking good. I think that that's definitely a potential play. We did have a candle going from 750 all the way to 780, so 30-cent candle, not bad. You know what, SIDA is starting to move too, so Acon actually shot back up as well. RVSN still kind of struggling in this price range, but I think it's going to go. And we can also take a look at HCDI because that was a mover. Yesterday it did take a nasty fall. We're back down to about that $3 mark. We were at about 380 yesterday, I believe, when we were playing it. 370, yeah. So we did take that nasty fall. We're back at a good support line. So we could see a healthy rise out of this stock today too. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on RDBX. I think that's going to be the main focus is RDBX, HCDI, RVSN, and maybe this Acon because we are seeing a lot of conviction behind it right here. I think it's kind of risky to jump in. That bottom band's opened up really wide. Top band's opened up really wide. We're really overextended on that MACD. We are seeing a huge increase in volume. Imp not looking bad either. I haven't really liked to play Imp since like a long time ago. We used to play Imp all the time and it was fine, but lately I'm just not feeling it. But we'll open a chart for it. We'll see. But it's looking good right now. Again, overextended. Not really something we want to jump in on right this second. We do have ACDI at that VWAP line. That is a very good support line. So we're going to see if it can hold. MACD's pointed down. Volume's a little lower right now, so I might leave that alone. We have RDBX also hitting that VWAP line. We do have a support line underneath, not from anything we drew today, but previous levels. So it could hold here. I would have liked to spend some time to draw on those indicators or those support and resistance lines, but we'll see. HCDI did hold that 9 EMA, which is very bullish. RVSN finally moving up. We're seeing 225. Yeah, I was looking at Saddle too. Saddle is back up. It's a little volatile. We're not seeing big gains out of it. We're going, I don't know, up and down. Well, I mean, I guess $1 on a $10 stock is still about 10%. So can't really complain about that. It is looking half decent. We do have a couple of things. I think Acon is finally going to come down. So that's something to keep an eye on. RDBX looks like it's going to bounce. Maybe keep going even. Did have a big run up in the pre-market, $6 all the way up to 7, so ideally I'd like to see it bounce off that 200 EMA. We are hitting PT on RVSN. PT, RVSN. Yeah, let's cutting most of it here, leaving a tiny runner. Okay. So let's see. HCDI all the way down to that 200 EMA. This is where I'd likely risk jumping in on HCDI. So let's try. Go 285. We're gonna try for $3. And then it's a 280 stop. Honestly, I don't want to risk too much when it comes to this. And that 5 cents is pretty huge right now. We can get rid of that. Just like that, where it's already paying off. HCDI. Let's hope that continues. Acon holding no parent line here, so we're not going to jump in on this, even though it looks like it's reversing here. I want to see it hit either a support line or resistance line, something around those lines. RDBX still holding that VWAP line and the previous support line fairly well. Body staying above it. We may jump in here. We do have room for one more open trade. Did hit as high as 235 on RVSN. HCDI looking good. We're up 6 cents on that. Acon not looking too bad. SATL, yeah, not really my thing. Husa, not really my thing. SITA, definitely a good run up. We do have that VWAP crossing on top of that 200 EMA, very bullish. I'd like to see a consolidation from this. We'll probably be looking at a 5-minute consolidation. PRT has beautiful chart pattern. This could definitely keep going. My only problem is how far away from that 200 EMA this is, and it's holding on a weak support line. So as the second volume goes away, this will drop. IP's still going as well. RDBX looks like it is going to drop. We're going to see if it holds at that 200 EMA. That could be another potential play right here. So I'm going to get ready for that RDBX. Maybe 680 we can jump in. We're going to aim for 720, try for 40 cents here, and then a 6. We'll give it 660. That's about 3%. Although I have to say, if we break down from this 200 EMA, I highly doubt I'll hold to that stop loss. We'll probably end up cutting around 670. So that is RDBX. 680. HCDI starting to go up. We have RVSN with a high of 235, looking to come back down on that support line. Looks like it held. This is a pretty good support line. We did see that it held resistance here, and now it's holding support here. Very bullish. We still have a little bit here in RVSN, so we're just kind of keeping an eye on it. 235, definitely an okay place to take profits again. We did get in around 208, which is a really, really good price, but it looks like we're going to see a lot more money out of this. So we're gonna hold for a little while here. HCDI coming back down. We have Acon all the way down to 203. If I had another position I could open, I would definitely be looking at getting into Acon on this 200 EMA. This has been a very bullish stock. The only thing that's keeping me from doing it is, one, because I've maxed out margin on it, and two, MACD is a little bearish right now. So that's the one thing I'd be watching for to see if this breaks through, because that MACD is bearish. SATL not doing a whole lot. Husa, I'm going to close the chart down. It's not volatile enough for me. SITA still going, still looking strong. PRTS not looking like it's doing a whole lot. We're ranging very, very, well, it's not that small. It's a 20, 25 cent range. It is still holding at 9 EMA. We are seeing volume taper off pretty dramatically here, so I assume it's going to break that pattern here. We did see this dip down a little bit. Not super bearish yet. Looks like it's pretty bullish, actually, making a push like that. So hopefully it continues. We did turn green here, so that's definitely a good candle. We do have a solid level of support here. Now we just need to make sure that those sellers don't stack on us. RVSN with a 244 all the way down to 218. That's a massive red candle. RVSN entry off the VWAP. Yeah, I would say that if we can get this back down to VWAP, we should take a play on it. Definitely. HCDI really not doing a whole lot, not looking great. This may be a cut for small profits kind of moment. Well, volume is just completely died out. It's actually just like not moving at all. Maybe it's my chart. Let's try another HCDI chart. Nope. Okay. All right. Well, I guess it's just not moving. Just absolutely no price action with that. But that worries me. I'm gonna exit the position. Exiting HCDI price action to 0. We're just gonna take our small profits and leave. We don't want to be stuck in something that's really not moving like at all. That's worse than anything that could possibly be moving, especially since we do have things that look like they could potentially go. You know, we had Acon around that 200 EMA. Looks like it did break through with that MACD being negative, so that's why we wouldn't have taken that play. SITA looking half decent again. We're probably going to wait for that to come down to a support line. PRTS still holding on that 9 EMA, kind of worrying me, but the volume did pick back up, so looking half decent again. Still not really ready to touch that. Imp, it's okay. The range is not really there for me yet, so we'll have to see about that. HCDI is pretty dead, honestly. I didn't expect that. Acon still down. We have a little bit of profit on RDBX so far. Nothing major. We are hoping to hit up to 720. We do have quite a few resistance lines in the way. I'll probably have resistance around this level. And we'll probably have some at this level. We'll definitely have some at that level. Get rid of that for now. That should be good enough. In any case, this is looking pretty good so far. Hitting up to $7. We do have RVSN still pretty bullish, I would have to say. We saw some dips on that MACD, but we've been holding pretty steady. This is probably ready to go. This has been following that 9 EMA very nicely. And 708 on RDBX. I'm going to scale out some profits on this. Scaling out some profits on RDBX at 713-ish. Don't want to really leave money on the table, especially in the market we're playing. It's not the best market, so we want to make sure we're securing profits whenever we see them. Not that we don't think it's going to go up to that PT mark. It was pretty close, but you know, it's been, you know, hundreds of times that we've seen something come up within like 1 cent of PT and then seeing people not take profits on it. So we're trying to break that habit for people. Because it's definitely okay to take some profits early, or all profits early even. You know, as long as there's money on the table and you're taking it, it's definitely not a bad thing. All right. RVSN really not doing a whole lot. I am waiting for this to drop, maybe down to the support line. If it doesn't hold there, then VWAP, and we'll probably take a play off that. You're way less confident in today's trades than you have been this week. I kind of feel that, and I think it has a lot to do with the really weak market open. Like it wasn't showing us anything this morning. You know, we had like maybe 5 okay tickers, and of those 5 okay tickers, really none of them had news. The only one that had news was SATL here. And I was it was really bullish news to me, but then you look at the chart and it was not bullish at all. Like, yeah, okay, it had some excitement, and then nothing. And then we opened and we saw a little bit of excitement and then a big drop. And that just shows me there's just no conviction in the stock with that news, so I'm just not touching it. And as we've seen, there, you could have made a little bit of money off it, but nothing recently. Yeah, exactly. So we're just leaving that kind of stuff alone, and we're just gonna take the plays that that feel good, and that are playing by our rules. I don't really like things that don't play by our rules. Um, this one's not doing too bad. I mean, we might be able to take a play off Imp, but yeah, again, you know what? It's one of those stocks I don't really like playing. PRTS is just killing me because it is following this 9 EMA really nicely. The volume, it's a little sporadic, but it's still pretty good. I do think this is going to top out and come down, though. And I don't think it's going to be one of those ones that runs up to $10 for no reason. So that's mostly why I've stayed away from it so far. RDBX not looking too bad. It does look like it's hitting resistance around here, so maybe taking profit around that 710, 712 mark is your best bet. That top band is starting to close in, volatility is starting to die out. I'm assuming volume's going to start to lower, and maybe we'll see an entry here soon. Acon reversal, yeah, definitely looks like it so far. Nothing I'd really like to touch quite yet, not until this MACD is bullish. We could see this move up a little bit. That MACD just touched the zero threshold and then get rejected and it comes back down. And that's why we're not touching SATL. Yeah, there's no conviction behind the stock right now. I think it's not used to price movement. It's really not used to price movement. So, I think that when people see any sort of price movement up, they're going to take profits on it, especially because this is institutional buying. A lot of people aren't even awake for this time. So, if you're bag holding a stock, or not necessarily bag holding, but investing, and you buy in at $8 or $9, and you see this go up to $17 at the time you weren't awake, and then you're watching in the market time, you're probably going to take profits whenever you see profits. So, I think that's what's going to happen with that one. RDBX looking okay here. I would really like it to drop at least down to 696 right now. Might be able to take another entry. Okay, so we are seeing a dip. Dip went a little further than I want it to. I'm being really picky with this. Looks like it's holding okay. Looks risky. It looks risky with that MACD and stuff, but I think that if we drop down a little bit closer to that 200 EMA, I might be a little okay with it. RDBX. I'm gonna say 685-ish. We're gonna aim for 730 again, and then a 6. We'll go 665. Yeah, we'll go 665. If we can get a 685 entry, wherever you get in, give it 20 cents room. We're trying to basically get below that 200 EMA. That's the goal. So as long as you can do that with your entry, that's basically where you want to be. RDBX. Like we dipped down to 692, which is fairly close. We are seeing, less conviction in the last couple candles here, which is okay. That's, it's taking a break. We get it. These were very strong candles all the way through, so I mean, at some point it's gonna do this for a little while. ACOM not looking terrible. It is holding that 200 EMA nicely. Oh, SATL, it's so depressing. Oh, we did have a nice dip down to that down to VWAP on RVSN, and then it just started moving back up. That could be our other play. I think I want to get back in on RVSN. RVSN, what's VWAP at? 217, so 217-ish. We're going to aim for 230, and then probably just a 212 stop. We don't need anything super tight. Yeah, we'll give it 212. Definitely not getting it down to that 200 EMA, which is my favorite kind of stop loss, something just below that 200 EMA, but we're just too far away from that, so it's just not going to happen. So just make sure that you can get your stop loss below that VWAP line, and you should be okay, hopefully. Obviously, no promises, but RDBX coming back down. We're seeing 260 or 685. Sorry, that was where we wanted to be. So we can jump in there or around there. So then we're just going to basically be waiting for a reversal, but with our stop loss being way down here, we take a pretty massive knife to hit that. Not impossible because we have seen it already, but you never know. We could end up seeing some money here. Just need this to start reversing now. So we've got RVSN really looking good. We're already at that 230 mark, so that's awesome. That's PT RVSN. Taking some profits out and leaving a runner. Yeah, so far, I mean, like I do feel a little less confident today too with how it started, but we are doing pretty nicely here. We did see some nice movement out of HCDI. The volume is still really low, and I really don't trust price action when it's got low volume behind it, so I'm just going to stay away from that. Imp, I'm not comfortable playing it, so I'm going to close that chart. PRTS, maybe, but it's got such a long way to come down that I don't think we're going to hit that in time. Sita, it's, again, you know, it's okay. It is ranging enough to make money off of. We'll leave it open for now. It's still a maybe. Saddle is just a no, but I want to keep it open just to see how low it gets. Acon's another one where I'm a little iffy taking a play on it, but we might be able to. We are seeing RDBX start to move up. We're almost at that $7 mark. We're looking for about 730 on it. That is pretty high up here. That's ambitious. So we'll probably take some profits around 710. Secure about 30 cents of profit. RVSN's at 240. We hit 243. We almost broke a new high. I'm kind of inclined to take a little bit more profit out here, so I think I'm going to. Taking some more profit out of RVSN around 240. I do think we're going to see some more out of this. This isn't the end, but I like to leave just a little runner in it because obviously this is going to come back down at least to this support line. You know what? Maybe not at least. We might see it come down to 228 and bounce off that level now. I'd actually not like it to come down as far as over here because that would be a little bearish. I'm leaving a little bit in because it could just keep running, but I'm also taking most out so that if it does come back down, we can open up another trade on it if we need to. We're almost at 250 on it. RDBX still struggling. We hit 707. I'm just going to put out the alert taking profits on RDBX around 710. Leaving a runner. Not looking too bad. HCDI, not really my jam right now. We do have a couple other things popping up. Take a look. All right. First impressions, this is just up way too high. This is going to have a major pullback, and I think we're seeing the beginning of it here. So we'll leave it open for now, but I'm not convinced I want to take a play on that yet. K-ball. It's okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything fantastic there, so we're going to skip over that. TPST, again, nothing fantastic. I think we're good with what we have. Maybe just leave EHTH open. That's hard to say. 203, we've got RDBX still struggling. We are seeing that up to 707 mark. You know, that's about where you want to be taking profits right now. RVSN just hitting up to 255. Definitely going to take the rest out around here. Taking the rest out of RVSN around 250-ish. maybe 260. And waiting for re-entry. Could get a little more out of it. I'm not quite sure how much more. We'll have to see. Sida not looking too bad. Again, just don't really want to play on that. Not with the amount of volume we're seeing right now. SATL continues its drop. Just dead cat bounces over and over. Gives you a little bit of hope, then drop, then hope, then drop, then hope, then drop. Definitely don't want to be playing that. This one's interesting. We are cooling off on this MACD pretty dramatically without a huge drop in price, which means this could be getting ready to run again. We do see that VWAP being very, very high, which means we have a lot of conviction up here as well. It's a potential. There's the potential for this to be a play. We'll just keep an eye on it. RVSN still at 250. It looks like it might break up higher here. A lot of buyers at $7 on RDBX. Yeah, I'd say so. How many shares did I leave as a runner? On RVSN, I don't know when you asked that exactly. Oh, you asked that 1 minute ago, so it was probably the last time. I have about 5% left in that trade. So share-wise, that's like 30 shares, 40 shares, something like that. RDBX all the way to 723. That's pretty, you know what? That's pretty close. We are hitting that resistance. We broke through. We did just touch our PT there. All right, that's PT RDBX. Massive drop. We're buying back in on this drop now. RDBX, hopefully a fast fingers. What was that, 680? We're probably not getting 680 now, at least for an alert. Oh, you know what? Maybe we are. All right, let's go 680, 730, and a 665 stop. That was crazy. That was some wicked candles. Those are some money-making candles right there. Jumping around here on RDBX. Not too worried about hitting that stop. I mean, like, if we do, it's also fine, but I just, like, I can't see us dropping that low that fast. Even though we've seen this, that would be breaking through this band pretty hard. RBSN starting to head down, so we are going to be looking for a re-entry on this. Yeah, that was pretty wicked candle, wasn't it? Yeah, rip and dip. So we are actually, you know what? Like, I thought today was going to be really boring looking in the morning, but we're actually finding quite a few things that are half decent. Okay, so we are seeing EATH, EHTH start to drop here a little bit, as I kind of expected it would. MACD broke down. We'll probably see this, like, it should start making its way towards that 200 EMA. We are seeing this break that 200 EMA. This is not good. We might stop out here, so I think I'm going to chicken out. Gonna give it like 10 seconds here. Cutting RDBX. Yeah. Save myself a couple cents there, nothing major. It was worth a shot. That bottom band opened up really wide, really quickly. We see so much selling volume kicking in, so a lot of bad signs there all at once. Hopefully you were able to save some of your investment there. Hey, Wiz. This is the day low, yeah. On RDBX, I mean, yeah, I would say there was really no volume or conviction down here, so we're sitting pretty low on this. I think my major issue is I don't really want to buy below that 200 EMA, but we'll see. You know what? I thought the pennies were going to be boring today, Wiz, but they're not. This is 2 days in a row where I've actually been surprised by the market. We've seen quite a few things moving, and we had actually had quite a few halts yesterday. We had a VIGL just halt 6:30. Maybe it wasn't just now. Maybe I missed it. Let's take a look. VIGL. Oh yeah, that was earlier this morning. It halted. Pretty nice though. I mean, it went from like 390 to 440. That's a 50-cent move on a. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's doing nothing now, so it's not no point watching. But yeah, I thought it'd be boring too. RVSN looks like it's on a slow pullback. Yeah, I know. We're just slowly waiting for an entry here. I really don't want to jump in anywhere too high. I think we're seeing, yeah, we're seeing some support here. So that would be a potential point of entry. Of course, it's going to turn around here and go up. I'm not quite comfortable jumping in that high though, so I'll let it go for now. We're still playing somewhat safe with our cash because we still have such a small balance. Although I have to say we made over $1,000 today already. Our account balance is $2,419. We started with $500 3 days ago, so we're doing pretty okay. Hitting 50K by the end of the month. It's within reach, I would say. I think so, as long as we don't take too many days off. I was a little hesitant on this challenge at first because, you know, $500 isn't a lot of money. In fact, I think I could have probably kept it at putting 50% of the port in at a time and taking 4 trades at a time, but I figured doing it this way kind of makes it easier for everybody as well because when I take 4 trades at a time, sometimes I forget that, you know, not everybody can manage that many trades at the same time, and it can definitely be overwhelming. So doing it this way at least gives people a little bit of a breather. You think I'll end at 150K? I think I'm too humble for that. I'm still a little iffy if we'll even get to 50K, but we have a good start so far. We definitely have a good start. And as long as the market stays, if the market's like it has been this week, yeah, for the rest of the month, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, no kidding. RVSN, I know. I want to jump in. It does look like it's heading up, but you know, my rules are telling me not to do it. We're not seeing a clear support line here yet. What's the trading limit rule? So we started with $500. We're throwing 100% of the portfolio into each trade. We're assuming it's a margin account. So I mean, if you don't have a 25K account and you're in America or some parts of UK, you're going to be looking at PDT rules. So then you'd be using an offshore account. And assuming that we're using 100% of the portfolio into each trade on a margin account, we can do 2 trades at a time. So we'll use 100% of the portfolio in one and then 100% of our margin for the second. And that'll be pretty much the max. Some accounts you can get, you know, 4x margin or 10x margin, but we're just using the simple 1x margin or 2x margin, whatever you want to call it. It's just mirroring your balance. So 2 trades max. Yeah, CMEG, you can definitely, I think actually they do 4x, and I think their 4x is 100x. RDBX reversal, potentially. Yeah, potentially. We are still at that low. We've been kind of watching it, but not really. It's not really doing a whole lot. RVSN still looking half decent. We're not really in anything, but we'll see what happens. Okay, well, that's it for the live stream, guys. Hopefully, this is good enough example on how to make money during the market. We saw some things run. We saw some good tickers go through. We made some decent money today. We're gonna keep trading for the half an hour, but this is all I'm going to be recording. If you guys want to see more, we'll probably do this like once a week where we focus on the first half hour with the most volatility and leave out the second half because it's kind of boring. But thanks for watching, guys.